Zach, let's get back to the hotel.
First Anna, then Becky, now Diane. I'm not looking forward to writing this investigation report.
Agent Morgan. York. Do you have a moment?
What is it, George?
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Do you have any time later?
Can't we just do it here?
If possible, I'd like to go to a bar. Of course, we don't really have to.
A bar? Now that sounds like a good idea.
Zach, what do you think?
Vice versa, Joe.
We can go drinking with George, or turn him down and head back to the hotel.
No, let's go drinking. With George. The guy who keeps fucking up all the shit.
George, that scar on your cheek. Where did you get it?
This? Didn't I tell you? Well, it's not from work. I got it when I was a kid.
A childhood injury. Tree climbing? I used to get a few scrapes myself climbing the big tree in our backyard. I used to climb it a lot. And fall out of it a lot.
This wasn't anything like that, though. It was my mother. She did it.
I'm sorry, George.
Don't worry. It's ancient history. The world is flooded with unreasonable violence. The strong overpower the weak, adults over children, men over women, and criminals over their victims. I have no memories of my father. He left before I knew him. My mother would hit me every time I asked why. And it didn't stop there. If I ate too slow, left my shoes scattered around, TV volume too loud, she found reasons to hit me. Hit me bad. The worst was what she called the tree punishment. She'd whip my back with these thin tree branches like a whip.
Please, Mama. I won't do it again. That hurts, Mama. I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry.
Tree punishment was definitely the worst, I tell you. Just hearing those words used to make me shiver and want to pass out. And that's why I didn't want to show you those scars on my back. Every time after the tree punishment, she'd always say the same thing. This is hurting the tree more than it is hurting you. And me, being a naive, dumb kid, I believed her. I went to the woods to apologize to the trees. I kept asking myself, why is she hurting me this way? I thought long and hard about it. In the end, I've just figured I'm weaker than her. That's why. It's the law of Mother Nature at work. The strong eat the weak.
But now, you have the power to protect the weak.
That's right. Perhaps I should thank my mother for guiding me into this line of work. York. I've been an arrogant fool, haven't I? And if it weren't for me, both Becky and Diane would still be alive. I could have saved them both. You know, it's almost like they died because of me.
You're out of your mind.
I invited you to this bar for a drink, but I guess this bar is my confession chamber, and I wanted you to listen. And to tell you, well, you must already hate me for causing all these problems and not following your orders. York, I'm sorry. I'll follow your orders from now on. You'll have my total cooperation.
George, you've been as cooperative as you can be. You even invited an FBI guy to a bar for drinks. You've done a good job protecting this town. And the folks here respect you for that. Nobody can blame you for anything.
Thanks. I do feel a little better. Since we're here, why don't you talk to a few other people? I'll just
Damn.
finish off my drink.
Camel spider.
Let me know
My
before
dad-
you leave, okay?
My dad used to make my brother and I cut out our own branch to use as a switch to whip us when we misbehaved. Selecting the branch almost hurt more than the punishment. I've heard other people that happened to other people too, and I think that's really fucked up. I'm sorry that happened to you, Camel Spider. I don't believe in hitting your kids. And a lot of people, the way they try to defend hitting their kids so violently is like really creepy to me, and you know, it's just messed up. And a lot of the times people hit their kids out of anger, and you should never hit anybody out of anger. It's like, if you're gonna hit your kid as a punishment, obviously you're doing it out of anger and it's messed up. Like, you shouldn't do it. It sucks. And like the psychological torment of picking your own switch, that's messed up. I'm sorry that happened.
Hey, Carol. Becky is dead. Diane, too.
I'm just trying to
We've
enjoy
got
my
Nick in
drink.
custody as a suspect.
Nick didn't do it.
I know. Carol, you took a locket from Diane, didn't you? A locket with this mark on it.
You're not showing it to her. She can't see it. She can't see what the locket is. She's not.
I'm busy, gotta go.
I'm gonna walk like that from now on.
I dream of you like a god. There is something funny about this song we hid behind the leaves. They should see us. I am still haze from the night, muddy space. I dream of thee like Flizzler. You are conscious of my innocence. Everyone's just written out to know.
Ashley Simpson, is that you trying to lip sync again?
This but a dream.
Oh, it's Zombie Guy. Is he tired? What's up, dude? Are you okay? Okay. 2 people clapping. My brother is at the sheriff's department, isn't he? Poor guy, having to watch over Nick who didn't even do anything. There was another guy that we met who looked like one of the zombies, like he was pre-zombified. Alright. How do I leave? Ah, here we go. Wait, let me save. Wait, what? I have a feeling I forgot something, Zach.
Sorry to keep you waiting, boys.
Zach, Emily is already a goddess of the forest.
Don't say that. I don't want her to die. And also, she can hear you saying that. You're weird.
Let's forget work for a bit and drink a little, shall we?
She's like, I can
York?
fucking hear you.
Why is
okay?
she here?
I just thought the more the merrier. You know, to relax and get loose. Is this a problem?
No, of course not. Pardon me, Emily, but I'm pooped. I think I'll just call it a night.
Emily's mouth
George,
breathing.
I just got here and you're walking out on me? I was hoping the 3 of us could have a drink and let out a little steam.
George knows when
I'm
he's a
afraid
third
I've
wheel.
already had enough. And I already had a good man-to-man with York.
See, this is more
So I'll
like...
see you guys.
Why can't you man-to-man with her? This is more like gender discrimination within the workforce. She shows up trying to be one of the guys, tries to dress up. And he's like, nah, I've already talked about my guy
I think
feelings.
George likes you, but he's avoiding you all at the same time.
How astute.
There's a reason?
Nothing worth going into. It's a thing of the past.
Tell me everything. Tell me all the drama I need to know.
Okay. Yes! He did ask me out when I first came to town. I was still in high school. But I never really considered him my type. And there's the age gap thing, too. I respect him, of course. Or I wouldn't
No!
do his job otherwise.
Wait, he
So,
asked you out when you were in
came
high
to this
school?
town alone?
Of course not. I came with my parents.
Tell me about them then.
Sure, why not? My dad dealt in stocks in New York. He was hardly at home when I was a kid.
Are we just gonna
Always
gloss
working.
over that?
Those pieces of paper were far more important to him than I was.
Yeah, George is canceled.
Which is no different now, really.
No more
I don't see
George
much of
Stan.
him. My mother? Totally different story. A wonderful person that I still respect. She was always kind and understanding. Not only that, but she would always help me find my way.
Can we circle back to
She
George?
could be fierce, too, scolding me if I took a wrong step.
The police officer who asked you
We
out
had
as
our
a child?
battles, sure, but all in all, she was a wonderful mother.
Past tense?
Hi, Balkoon.
Yeah, she's gone now. Cancer, just before I graduated high school.
Oh!
She gave this to me just before she died. I take it with me wherever I go. It's what I treasure most.
George is a sexual predator. He targeted a girl
I'm
whose
sure she's
mom
very
was
proud of you.
dying. Wait a second. So her mom was dying of cancer when she was in high school. When she first moved to a new town. He's older, I assume already a police officer at that point. Probably not the police chief. He asks her out as a high school student. I'm gonna assume he's in his late 20s,
I
early
had
30s.
a good
'cause
time
he's old.
tonight. Good night,
See you tomorrow.
We need to talk about George.
York.
Yes?
Please, don't lie to us, okay?
I won't. Don't worry. I won't.
George is clearly, like, way older than her. And she said, maybe she was 18. So what? So what? You don't ask out high schoolers when you're, like, way older and a cop. Please don't defend this. Like, it's so gross. It's gross. I'm sure he knew her. I'm sure he knew her age because he was fucking old as shit. And a cop. The fuck? Chris Hansen standing in the reception desk at the police station. Hi there, George. Can you please sit over here? Exactly. Yeah. Time to go to the Deer Lodge, so I should turn left and turn right. Everyone immediately take George off of your stand list. I don't care if he got whipped. Like, that's two separate things. I feel bad that he was abused as a child, but shit, dude.
There was another really bad one around this time of year. 3 years ago. Remember, Zach?
Yes, that's right. That one. Multiple homicide, same MO, across Utah, Colorado, and Missouri. The victims were all average married housewives. But after being run over so many times by a car, they didn't look human. 5 victims in 2 months in the 3 states. The way he killed them was always the same. But aside from that, there was nothing that linked the victims together. Well, they were all married. But age, race, nothing else matched up. Tire marks and fragments of paint ID'd the car that was used. That's where things got really tricky. The perpetrator used a 1993 model Cadillac Alante as a weapon. It was registered in the name of one Senator... No, I don't feel like talking about this anymore. That senator's basement. I wish I could forget what I saw there.
Okay, I looked up the ages. She's 26 and he's 41. So if she were 18, he'd still be 34. No, Lady Draws a Lot. I'm so glad you told me this. Unstand George. George is on our shit list.
Zach, let's go over our progress.
From what Olivia told us, and the sketchbook we found at Becky's house, Nick and Diane became our primary suspects. There were a couple of reasons for this. First, Becky gave the missing locket to Diane. Also, Nick has no alibi for when Anna and Becky were killed. We followed Nick to the art gallery, which led us, unfortunately, to our third victim. The third victim, Diane, was strung up in the entrance hall of the art gallery. Her hands were tied and a knife was sticking out of her chest. However, there was a marked difference from the previous crimes.
Do you remember what that was, Zach?
That's right. Diane was still alive.
Well,
This suggests that very little time had passed since the crime was committed.
I mean, the other one was still alive too.
Which means the criminal was still close by. It was someone near the scene. There are 2 possible candidates. Nick, who was knocked out in the entrance, and one other.
Zach, who was the other person in the gallery?
The killer keeps setting it up so you guys technically keep killing them.
That's right. Casey. We followed Willie, good dog, all the way to him. Cason's statement came out as follows. He and Diane were in a physical relationship. That was why he visited the gallery. The two were in the middle of such a meeting when Nick showed up. Diane lost her cool and shut Kaysen up in the basement. Now, what did
tell
Kaysen
you
hear
what.
when he was locked up?
That's
No.
wrong, Zach. What did Kaysen hear when he was locked in the basement?
I don't fucking remember.
That's it. The sound of boots passing by. Nick was wearing boots that day,
We heard the boots too.
which means it was likely that Diane met with Nick in her room. Nick said he argued verbally with Diane about her playing around with men, but they eventually decided to go out drinking to make up.
We heard boots too while we were
However,
doing the thing.
immediately after that, Nick was attacked by someone in the entrance hall and knocked unconscious. We saw the rest.
Zach, do you think that Nick is our serial killer?
Yes. No. I don't know. No.
Me too. Usha sent in a report too. He found a large volume of red seeds in Diane's stomach.
Thank you, Bogcoon. Thank you for
This
saying
confirms her as a victim of the Raincoat Killer. Remaining leads. There is the locket, which is in Carol's possession, the man with the tattooed back, and the upside-down peace sign. There's a
I
lot
understand your
left to
joke,
answer.
bisected brioche.
I hope the coffee will give us more guidance tomorrow.
Coffee, guide us. Guide us, coffee. Oh, coffee, guide us. My favorite part
Zach,
about...
what did you think about George pouring his heart out? I was surprised. It's the end of a monarchy.
I love him.
And he called me York instead of Agent Morgan.
Ooh. Booty
Emily?
call.
What's going on? Do you know what time it is?
I'm sorry.
6 o'clock.
I couldn't sleep, so I was drinking alone.
She painted her nails red.
My mother was a very kind woman.
What?
She always smiled so brightly. Baked cakes and cookies every day. She'd say that I needed the sugar because I spent so much time thinking. My father was always quiet. We never talked much. He was a federal agent, just like me. And he was hardly ever at home.
Sit next to her on the
only
couch.
words he ever had for me were harsh ones. I had a vivid imagination, and I remember he once said this to me. There are plenty of crazy things in this world. You don't have to go dreaming them up. And it's my job to make sense out of them. One day you'll understand what I'm saying.
I'm gonna
Found out
stand
later
for
that my
this.
father was one of the first to ever use criminal profiling to catch bad guys. And so now I'm doing exactly the same job that he did.
Something's wrong with
Like
her.
father, like son.
She painted her
Can
nails
I
red.
ask
It's
you something?
different.
Shoot.
She's gonna die.
Mind if it's something personal?
Is she next? She's gonna
Fire
die
away.
next.
Who's Zach?
Oh, called out.
Zach is a friend of mine.
Hey, BB.
Oh, so you do have friends.
Yeah. He's my only friend.
What
Red
kind
flag.
of person is he then?
Red flag.
Well, I've never seen his face.
Don't tell her
But
these
he's always with me, and we discuss everything.
When did you become friends?
things. The Shining.
A long time ago,
Hello.
back when I was a child.
Red rum. Red rum. Is it... Does York have The Shining? Is that what it is?
I was 7. I woke up one morning to hear my mother crying in the living room. This wasn't normal, so I headed in to see her. My father was there pointing a gun at my mother. I was so scared. I closed my eyes, so I don't remember much more. But I do remember the words my father said to me. At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist, even if it means losing someone that you love. When I came back to my senses, they were both dead. He shot my mother and then killed himself.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Zach's with me.
I'm
It was around
Zach.
that time that we became friends.
I'm here. I'm with you, he said. I'll be here always. We can get through this together. Quite aside from that terrible scene in front of me, that voice seemed to make me calmer. And here we are, working together, getting through things.
This is the first time I've ever told anyone about this. I wonder if Zach will get angry.
No, I won't be angry.
That's a sad story. But I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but
Bitch, don't say it.
I'm sure there was a reason for what your father did.
Listen, never mind. I don't like you no
I know.
more.
I think maybe I became an agent to find out why he did what he did.
No, we're Zach.
Oh yeah, York. I forgot to thank you.
What was that mouth movement?
Thank me? For what?
You saved my life. If you didn't save me at the gallery, I would have died along with Diane.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
What did you just say? Useless? I was never expecting to hear you say that. Huh. There might be a modest guy in you after all.
Finally, you noticed? You're a little slow, aren't you?
Maybe hopeless, but not useless.
I think Zach is real, and Zach
Zach.
is his
Do you
guardian
think
angel.
Emily got home safely?
Anyway, I think it's more serious of a situation than I thought. Do you remember? Our conversation with Emily.
Yeah, it just happened. I remember.
She's really interested in you.
Yeah, I know. but
I
I'm
think
amazing.
she's starting to have certain feelings for you.
No, for you.
If that's the case, Zach, you and I are rivals. This is a very serious situation indeed.
I think Zach is his
Well, if it comes to that, let it be a fair fight. Agreed?
is his guardian angel, and we're playing as his guardian angel because he seems to have like these psychic powers and be able to see all these paranormal things.
Thomas! Let me out of here! Come on, please!
Yeah, we have psychic powers.
Just for a moment. 1 second. Hate it in here, Thomas. I think I'm going mad. I know you're there. Come on, please! Thomas! 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 Thomas!
They're wearing boob poppins. So there's somebody who is gender non-binary, or maybe they're trans. Seems like. Oh, is Thomas trans? Oh, Thomas is kind of trans? Because it seemed like that was Thomas.
Previously during the investigation.
So, you want to find out everything there is to know about Diane?
York, Nick is leaving the bar.
Wait! She's still alive.
Stop right there, Nick. You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Diane Ames. Emily, hurry!
You saved my life.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless. I
It would
couldn't save
explain.
Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
Okay, it's not frozen. So far, I think it seems as if Thomas is trans, which is cool. Or, well, Ability Train says sort. He wants to be his sister of sorts. Well, you know, sometimes people who are trans they pick somebody, like a female figure, who they admire a lot, and they see as, like, their transition goals. So it might be that he wants to be his sister, but it might more be that he wants to be a woman and sees his sister as the goal of being very feminine. So, but, like, obviously, I'm not a trans woman. I'm just trying to explain why that might be, and I just don't want to, you know, I just want to make people feel validated. If there's any trans women in the chat who want to weigh in on that, feel free to let me know. I work at school with little kids, and today one of the 7-year-olds came in the first day, and their mom told everyone they'd come out as non-binary over the break, and we're going by they, them. It was cool. That's cool. I know that some people are like, they're kids, they don't know any better. It's like, does it really matter? Like, if some people worry, like, what if they change their mind? It's like, okay, well, then they change their mind. It's okay. It's fine. Everything's okay. You don't need to worry about it. Like, we don't need to worry about if somebody changes their mind. Like, then they change their mind. Even though, like... Yeah, transition goal. What's this? Ooh, got Angel Isaiah. Gender fluid is a thing. You're right. Bisected brioche, trans woman here. While true, it's a sensitive issue, thanks to a fellow named Dr. Blanchard and his theory of autogynephilia, which I will not give the dignity of mentioning here. Yeah, autogynephilia is not a valid research genre and not valid scientifically. Somebody wrote about that. Dr. What's-his-name wrote about that a long time ago. And a lot of his research and stuff has been proven very wrong. So, in case anybody wants to know. Yeah, sometimes kids need to work it out who they are themselves. So it's like... but at least the children making irreversible decisions. Okay, they're 7 years... Let's not talk about it. You know, I'm not an expert, but I respect everybody's ability to be able to choose, and it's a complicated subject.
Open this door. There is no turning back. You still want to enter?
Yes, I'm going along.
I do. It's better than staying here.
Very well then. Off you go, Mr. York.
Are we in like Angel World or something? No, children are allowed to irreversibly transition before the age of 18.
Look carefully, boy. At times, we must purge things from this world because they should not exist, even if it means losing someone that you love.
That copyright-free, shocking music. Oh no. Is this our granddaughter? It's so creepy. Oh look, it's the little pendant that we got. The monsters are here, Grandpa. No, they're here now. Grandpa, do some. Grandpa, you have the leaves? Grandpa, you're part of it now? Are we? Do we become the tree people? I know people are in the chat are arguing about letting kids explore gender identity. I mean, just let them, it's fine.
Mr. Morgan, do you want a refill?
Yes. Thank you.
Is the coffee that good, Mr. Morgan?
Coffee is a vital investigative tool. I know exactly what to do now.
Harry. Harry? Who's Harry?
It says to hurry,
Oh, hurry.
and the first letter of each line is Harry. Hurry to Harry. Looks like the time that he was talking about has come. Let's go pay the problematic rich boy who owns half of the town a visit. Polly, I think I'm going to go see Harry today.
Oh, really? He's a little strange, but I think he's the most trustworthy one around here. I think you'll have fun with him.
If you say so, Polly, then we probably will.
Of course! Now, give me your cup, and I'll give you some more coffee.
You're so rude, Agent York.
I'll see you later, Polly.
Mr. Morgan! What about the coffee? Don't you want a refill? Your coffee!
I know some people, okay, there's this misconception that people think that, you know, if a kid just says, hey, I'm trans, they're gonna automatically just start transitioning right away. But for a child to be diagnosed as being diagnosed is the wrong word, but having diagnosed with gender dysphoria, they have to have a long history of behavior, and then they have to go to a specialized like a specialized doctor and a specialized therapist for months and months and months. Like, it doesn't just happen. Like, they have to have a long history of a certain type of behavior, and then go to a specialized doctor, and then go to a specialized therapist where they work with this kid for months and months to see, like, if this is what the actual issue is. And then, in order for this kid to actually transition, like, if they're going to be going to puberty anytime soon, they actually have to take months to years in order to convince an insurance company, like their health insurance, to cover the costs of hormones and like surgery. I don't think you can get confirmation surgery before the age of 18. You can only take hormone blockers and hormones. So it's not like something that you can just do willy-nilly and it's going to ruin someone's life. Like, it takes years. Bisected breeders, I transitioned as an adult, and I can attest it's hard enough to get them to let you transition when you have power of attorney. Exactly. And nothing surgical hormonal is done until they're much further along in their development, like 17. Yeah, it's very, very rare for kids who are early in their puberty to be able to like get the coverage to have hormone therapy, and hormone therapy costs a lot of money. It's a lot. So you need a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and an endocrinologist specialist in gender disorders and dysphoria to work together to know if the child is actually trans. So to anybody who might be watching who thinks like, oh, like Mari just thinks like kids can just transition or whatever, like what if the kid changes their mind? It's like, this is a diagnosis that takes months to years, like months and months and months to years in order to get this diagnosis, and then it takes months and months to years to get the medicine that you need. So I mean, just so you know, like kids aren't just gonna run off and do whatever.
Hey, am I still a suspect?
No.
Okay, well, good. My wife and I have been living separately for over 3 years now. Diane, she's a single woman, so this shouldn't be a problem.
That's true.
I feel so bad for Diane, though. Gosh. Did you find out who did it?
I can't discuss that.
Yes, of course. I understand. You don't have to tell any of the folks around town about me and Diane, do you?
No, I won't do that. But it's a small town. I'm sure the rumors have started already. Nothing to be ashamed of, right? What's there to worry about?
Nothing in particular. No, nothing at all. I'm clean as the sheets in this hotel.
Oh, Bo-kun, I don't think you're objectifying me. I'm very flattered. Thank you. Also,
What's with that look? We don't have a problem, right?
It looks like Kaysen is involved with another woman in town. We can only hope it isn't Emily.
and somebody said that the puberty blockers are totally reversible, as in if people decide. So if somebody decides to have their puberty delayed, all it does is they just stop taking it and then their puberty starts. So they'll just have a puberty later on in life. So if they're delaying their puberty while they're trying to figure it out, it's okay. No bad things are going to happen.
Oh, hi.
What can I do for you, Mr. Morgan? Ooh, rainy stripe. Yes. Ooh, striped suit. I want it. Yeah. Get some cigarettes.
York, I can't find Thomas. Was he here?
No, I haven't seen him. Have you tried the radio?
I've been trying, but he's not answering.
What about Nick?
No problem with him. He's calmed down a little. He's still saying he didn't do it. Nick said that Thomas disappeared sometime during the night. He kept calling for him, but Thomas stopped responding. I'm a bit worried. George has asked for permission to search for Thomas.
Where's your nail polish
I
go?
understand that things have been hard for Thomas, but surely he's just resting at home. But I'm not against looking for him. Tell George that he has my blessing.
Okay. As far as I know, Thomas always calls in when he needs a day off.
We're human, and so we are limited. As far as you know, there haven't been any serial killings here before, right?
That's right, but that's not...
Emily, I'm going to see Harry today.
What? Why? We have plenty of other leads to follow, don't we?
He did invite me over, though. It would be bad manners not to accept.
Are you really an FBI agent?
Wanky.
I think the FBI would take a more logical approach to investigations.
But Emily, a serial killer does not stay within the boundaries of logic. Thus, you can't hope to capture such a killer using only logic. That's why I'm going to see Harry. You go with George and find Thomas.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Great. Thanks.
I was an idiot for thinking he might be a good pick. I really need to work on my taste in men.
Is everybody just, like, not able to hear sounds? Why is she crawling away like that? People said that I could go fishing behind the hotel, so I want to try doing that. I don't respect property of the people I rent from. What the fuck was the point of peeking? I don't know, man. Let's fish. How do I fish? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what's happening. I found a Poly Oxford? What's a Poly Oxford?
Benjamin, my good buddy, listen up. I got something new to tell ya. I'll tell you another one when I see ya again. Nej, guys, ano. Norrlanda, jag Hej, där är du, Astaga.